Hello, welcome to today, another edition of LATOKEN VCTV. To all our viewers, thank you for joining us whichever platform you're joining in from. Facebook, we are live on Facebook. We're live on Twitter, LinkedIn, and we are also live on YouTube. Thank you for being a part of today's show, and also you can participate in today's show by easily dropping a comment, a question, and then we'll be ready to give you feedback. Today, as always, we deal with three topics, issues that concern us and concern you, and then we have a panel of experts that are going to give their expert insight and feedback on these issues. Today, we'll be talking about tokenization of assets, the disruption and its disruption to the financial industry. Today with me, I have Adrian that will be discussing this topic, and as a lot of guests come in, they'll be joining the show. Adrian, welcome, and please introduce yourself to the audience and let them know who you are.
Hi, Nathaniel. Thank you very much for having me here again at VCTV, in the VCTV family, because it's a family gathering.
Hello, Adrian. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me okay? Can you hear me okay? Nathaniel, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you clearly now.
Oh, okay.
I can hear.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't know what happened because I didn't press anything. So, hello, Nathaniel. Hello, everybody. Happy to be here again, back with VCTV. VCTV, it's a family gathering. I'm Edwin Niculescu. I'm a serial entrepreneur and investor. My genius zones are marketing, sales, and business development, and I love keeping my hands dirty in these areas. Besides my advisory roles and board membership slots, I'm actively involved with CloudCoin Consortium. CloudCoin is a post-blockchain digital currency which is listed natively on exchanges. Faster Capital is a Dubai-based accelerator and incubator for startups. Saga Global Ventures, which is a London-based venture capital firm, and also I'm involved as a mentor in Richard Branson's Virgin Startups program in UK.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that feedback, and thank you for to Mohammed Faisal for being part of the show. I see you are live on Facebook, and welcome to the VCTV family. So Adrian, I'd like to start by saying tokenization of assets have provided increased liquidity, fairer pricing, and reduced management cost for investors. Now, with the increasing popularity of tokenized assets, of fungible and non-fungible assets, I'd like you to explain to the audience, for example, what is asset tokenization and how will asset tokenization disrupt the financial services industry?
I want to use as an example the crowdfunding for real estate. This was the first use case which made me understood and apply this principle. Let's say that you want to fund buying an apartment. Let's say the cost of that apartment is $100,000, and will be 5 investors putting money to finance the purchase, and they will be rewarded from the rent which is produced by this apartment. So let's say that I'm one of those 5 investors and I want to cash out, let's say in 2 months from now. The problem is that usually in such markets, I have a very low liquidity. So I need to find somebody to take over my share, which could be one of the other 4 partners or somebody from outside. But if I want to do that in the middle of the night, it's pretty close to impossible. So the tokenization will create a set of digital assets totaling these $100,000, which will be ideally hosted on a platform. So if I want to sell, let's say 10% of my share in that apartment, providing that within the platform there is liquidity, so there is interest for those assets to be purchased by somebody else, I could do that in the middle of the night, and after that could transform the proceeds into USDT or into dollars or into Bitcoin or into something else, and I will be able to cash out. If you ask me, everything around us will be tokenized. I saw that there is a project which is tokenizing the earth. It's creating a second earth, a second world, which is fully tokenized. Sooner or later, everything we are having physical, even a mouse like this one, could have an equivalent on a blockchain or on another system which is similar or which will follow blockchain somehow, because there are many other technologies which are developed, and right now most of the market knows about blockchain, but there are few pioneering technologies which are developing, and soon they will be in the market, or they are already in the market but are not very popular. So all our physical life will have in different instances equivalents in the digital world and in the tokenized world. I don't know, for example, how you can tokenize your wife, if you ask me, but or how she could tokenize me, maybe, not to be a rude guy. So I said, forget about tokenizing the wife. Okay, how could the wife tokenize me? If and 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 how maybe the different parts of my body would have different values depending on different criteria. I don't know, but
Oh, oh,
somehow this is the direction, and this is the disruption we are seeing. The NFTs are not new. They were around pretty well since 2016, 2017, but and this was driven somehow by the pandemic period, because many artists, they remain without the income from gigs, so they had to figure out ways to replace those incomes, and somehow some bright minds said, okay, let's make digital signature on your products on blockchain and start selling them. Because if you put a song as an NFT, that song anyway could be downloaded by hundreds of thousands of people. But if that song has a unique signature on the blockchain, that one and that one only NFT will have that signature. All the others will be just a few MP3s here and there. So slowly we have we need to adopt a new way of thinking. And people today, especially people in the 20s and 30s, they prefer digital goods over physical ones. They prefer to have a subscription to iTunes instead of having a collection of CDs, vinyls, and things like that. Um, this thing, I would say, is and will be an exception for me, because I will never give up my music collection. Maybe because I'm also DJing and I'm using this in a different way. But apart from that, I'm okay with everything else. Even for my wife to tokenize me, if this can help our family. I don't know.
awesome, awesome. I mean, you're
I don't
giving
know.
very
For
interesting
charity
insights.
purposes, at least, I will let myself
Yes,
tokenize.
yes, yes. I mean, you've given very interesting perspectives and insights. I mean, if our wives could tokenize us, maybe they could tokenize your will or something, and then invest in it or something like that. But very, very interesting insights from the real estate industry to entertainment and arts and music and all that. There is possibility to tokenize all these areas. Which other industry, Adrian, do you think can benefit from the tokenization of assets. Do you think, I read somewhere that agriculture could be tokenized. I read that, of course, entertainment could be tokenized with the rising NFTs and for arts projects. What other industries do you think can be tokenized?
Anything which is related to intellectual property can be tokenized, and not only entertainment. We are talking here about books and other things, and it will always come into discussion the copyright, because I can take a screenshot of yours right now and make an NFT about it, and you will never know, because I will put it on OpenSea or other platform. I will may potentially sell it, but you will never know that your face is in an NFT which was sold by me, and you didn't receive any commission on that. So this will call for some bodies, third-party bodies, to solve the copywriting thing on this market. I saw a statement of Marvel. Marvel didn't start their adventure into the NFT world, but they had a statement saying that if you buy any NFT which is created using figures from Marvel portfolio, they are worthless because they infringe the copywriting, because Marvel officially didn't do anything here. So if you buy a Spider-Man today, a Spider-Man NFT, hoping that it's something which may rise in value, it's a copyright infringement until Marvel will get the blessing for Spider-Man NFTs to be created. This is just an idea. One other market which still has a lot of old school aspects is the stock and the commodity market. And how I saw this started to be tokenized: first, you are allowed to buy stocks with cryptos, and there are platforms doing that. You can purchase the native tokens, and from that you can purchase stock, and you can keep them in their platform. Is exactly as you go in a normal trading platform. You buy stock with dollars, and that's it. The difference is that you are using native tokens to buy those stocks. It's the same market, but from a different perspective, and this is huge. As you said, agriculture and everything which is related to the food chain, or to breeding live animals, could be tokenized. Anything which has a quantity which could be divided in something could be tokenized. The first efforts, especially in the food chain, were created by supermarkets. They did recordings on blockchain. For example, if you buy a salad today,
Yes.
you have a QR code, and you can check there what kind of seeds they were used for the salad, where the seeds were planted, when the salad was harvested, what kind of procedures went until you received the finished product. So you could see everything there, and these recordings can't be altered, because I can give you an example. If you buy honey from supermarkets, it's usually not real honey, and you give honey to your children, and it could be very dangerous. And as in European Union, for example, when they put on the label, when they sell honey in supermarkets, they put on the label that the honey is both from EU and from non-EU sources. and usually is 1 or 2% from EU and 98% from non-EU sources, and usually that the other sources could be anything, even synthetic chemicals,
Wow.
which is a very bad thing. Yes.
Wow.
So by tokenizing the food chain, by having all those records, which of course it's an infrastructure needed, it's an effort, but this will prove the buyers at the end and will serve everybody that what you are getting is what is stated on the label. And it's very important because we are eating stuff, and sooner or later, I don't know, we can have diseases, we can develop cancer, and we don't know the source. And it's okay, but I'm eating very healthy. I'm only buying bio products and things like that. So the food industry is one of the most important use cases, and of course people who are doing shady things, they don't want these tokenized to happen, because they will not be able to do their shady stuff anymore, and this is very important because the food is our our fuel. If we put bad fuel, our machine will cease to work, and we will die young, which will be a loss
Oh yes.
for
Oh yes. Oh yes.
for everybody around us. So in
Thank
a
you very
nutshell,
much,
these are the
Adrian.
industries, but it said even the registries for selling properties, they will have to be digitized and tokenized and added on platforms like using technologies like blockchain and other similar technologies, because they will bring transparency into the industry.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Adrian. I mean, you just expanded the possibilities of the industries that can be tokenized and the benefits of each industry being tokenized. But in the midst of all these possibilities and prospects, cryptocurrencies and asset tokenization are still facing challenges in many parts of the world. Now, what do you believe is the root cause of this resistance to adoption of crypto and asset tokenization? And how do you feel we can confront these challenges of adoption?
There are two types of resistance, I would say. First is resistance related to the systems we had. Both governments, industries, companies, they have certain systems which are working for many years, and not everybody is ready to learn something new, especially if there is a paradigm changer. So the first resistance is a systemic resistance, because things are working in a certain way, and the people in the system, they are not ready to take the plunge to change that, because they are saying, okay, if this thing works, why should I do it different? It's exactly like some people who are employed in banks. They say, okay, I want my safety of my job. I'm not interested in crypto. If I will see crypto transfers into my clients' accounts, I will close their accounts. That's it. My job is safe. It doesn't matter. I'm not interested in that. And second is the resistance of the little guy, of regular people, because they don't see this part. I'm talking about crypto, even fintech. They don't see it as a safe side yet. Even with fintech companies, many of them have this challenge. People are using their accounts for pocket money, not to keep most of their resources there, or to keep the salaries. Maybe they receive the salaries there, but immediately they send the salaries to their bank account, and they just keep here in the fintech accounts money for coffee, for going out, for going into a trip, and that's it. And the fintech companies, because they have huge acquisition costs for customers, they have pretty big infrastructure, technical infrastructure to support, they have troubles getting money from their customers and become profitable because people don't trust them. You know, it's the unbanked world is by far the biggest opportunity for these new systems. But
That's right.
also here there is a learning curve, and people need to understand and to believe that this is the way to go. And it's a process which takes time. First, those uh, words and notions like, I don't know, Bitcoin, Ethereum, tokenization, blockchain, and others, they have to become part of our second nature, or of these people's second nature. Like when I go in the morning, I take a coffee and I'm okay with the fact that I have my funds in a wallet which are on my phone. I'm okay with that. It's part of my normality. It's not science fiction, you know? So once these notions they become part of the real life, it's very easy to adopt them, but it takes time. And usually people want shortcuts. Even investors in startups, they
That's right.
want shortcuts. They want return on investment fast. They say, okay, I don't have time to educate the market. I don't have time for this or for that. But they forget that who is educating the market will own the market. And one example I'm using is Coinbase, which is going public today. They did a huge effort at the beginning to
Exactly.
educate the market. They did this. Even they have those programs with free tokens to educate people about um, certain projects. Of course, they are done in cooperation with the token issuers. But even so, they did a huge effort to make crypto adopted, to make people to have crypto as part of their DNA, if you want to say. And they are reaping the rewards some years after that. So it's not simple, but it's doable. And once people will be able to digest this notion and to believe that they are the way to go, they will adopt it. And of course, one thing which is on a lot of agendas is the security of funds. I want to be sure somehow that my funds there, the money I've worked with, I'm emotionally connected with, because I know what efforts I did in order to have them there, not to be in a jungle with the huge risk of being lost by system loopholes, by hackers, by I don't know how. And still, this part is not solved here. Of course, if you are looking at the established exchanges, if you ask me, because I follow this world, they started to work like banks. So what you see there gives you the peace of mind that everything is okay. And even if a hack happens, it will be solved somehow, and nobody will suffer long term, which is pretty different now than it was in 2017 and 2018, proving that the market has evolved and will continue to evolve.
Evolve. Thank you very much, Adrian. I mean, very, very deep insights and interesting. And I'm glad that you know sufficient enough to educate the audience. And guys, if you have questions, comments, quickly drop a comment on whatever platform you are. We're live on LinkedIn, we're live on Facebook and Twitter, and we're also on YouTube. Drop a comment, give us a feedback, and myself and Adrian will be able to address it. And we're coming quickly to the end of today's session. And Adrian, I just want to find out from you. We've talked about tokenizing properties, arts, maybe some agriculture, and big prospects in all of this. And some of them were even being discussed at the World Economic Forum earlier, some time ago. From your own perspective, which of these industries is about to see real potential growth in the coming year or few years?
I see four industries which could move very fast here and will be impacted. Everything which is related to food, entertainment, the financial industry, and the real estate. And I'm, let's say, not involved in the food industry. I mean, I'm involved in the other three, and this is where I see the low hanging fruits and where the things will move pretty fast, and all the others will follow.
Awesome. Thank you very much, Adrian. Do you have any thoughts, insights before we close today's show? I mean, we've come to the very end. Fortunately, you are the one that has led this show today. And do you have any final thoughts as we close today's session?
My final thought is something which people don't like to hear,
Okay.
but unfortunately, it's very real. We are in a period which is unique, and where many paradigms are changing, and you need to unlearn a lot of stuff which was good in the old world but is not useful in the new world. So you need to unlearn pretty fast these things and to learn new things again pretty fast. It's a learning curve, and nobody can do this for you. Even if you are a regular user, if you are a professional, if you are somebody wanting to change the career or to keep the career or to continue developing yourself, you need to do the effort to learn everything you can about this world, even watching such shows at VCTV, look at white papers, read blogs, sites, because otherwise you will be left behind. And I would like to say that it's easy, but it's not easy, and sometimes will be like sculpting in stone with the bare hands, but it will pay off. I said people don't want to hear such advice, but I'm saying it time and time again because it's the most important thing.
Thank you very much, Adrian Niculescu. Thank you for being part of today's show, sharing your thoughts and insights. A lot has been gained from it, and I look forward to having you on another episode, on another show, and obviously maybe with more audience. So thank you for today, and hope to talk to you soon. And to our audience, bye bye.
Perfect. Have a great day. Thank you.